Now's the time. We're going to make it happen. So, law of sacrifice. Okay, get ready. This is on your notes that were passed out today. Okay, this is the live training. This one you will love. You will love this one. Mainly the people right now that are already, having success. You're going to love this one. Okay. Number one. All right. The law of sacrifice. Okay. A leader must give up to go up. Okay. A leader must give up to go up. If you desire to become the best leader you can be, then you need to be willing to make sacrifices in order to lead well. If that is your desire, then here are 4 things you need to know about the law of sacrifice. So to get to where you want to go, you've got to be willing to give up. You got to give up you have to give up some bad habits, okay? You got to give up things that aren't going to get you to where you want to go. Here's the first thing you need to be aware of, okay? There's no success without sacrifice. So true. Every person who has achieved any success in life has made sacrifices to do so. Effective leaders sacrifice much that is good in order to dedicate themselves to what is best. You have to ask yourself, what do you want to have? Do you want to live a life of good, or do you want to live a life of great? Do you want to live a life of excellence or a life of being average? See, if average and excellence are both options, and if excellence is an option, why would you settle for average? Why would you settle for average, man? Why not live an extraordinary life? Why not be the absolute very best you can be? Why not? What have you got going on in your life that you're so fired up about? What's this got you jacked out of your head? And right now, if you don't have anything that's getting you fired up, then guess what? Just put on your list to live an extraordinary life. How do you do that? You've got to be willing to, guess what? Sacrifice. And we're going to talk about what it looks like, okay? Number 2. For your notes, okay, keep this in mind. Example is not the main thing in influencing others, it's the only thing. Wow. Albert Schweitzer. Let me say that one again in case you missed it. It's for your notes. Example is not the main thing, okay, in influencing others, it's the only thing. Let me ask you a question. This training right now that we have, that we're enjoying right now, you guys know when it got finished being done? You know when this thing was done being made? 2 a.m. Do you know who's making it? Me. Do you know why? Because I'm willing to sacrifice. Do you guys get that? I could have delegated it, had someone else make it, couldn't I have? But I did it. You know why? It's called leading by example. Here's the thing, guys. When people tell your story, be an example, not a warning. Yeah. Be an example, not a warning. So true. I got people I could give you warning after warning after warning after warning after warning after warning of people in this industry. See, it takes a person that says, hey, look, you know what? What am I doing right now? What choices am I making right now? And are the choices I'm making right now going to get me to where I want to go? That's the deal. You've got to, guess what? Step up. You got to step up. You got to decide, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to lead by example. Leading by example, man. Showing how it's done. This business, by the way, that we're in right now, understand this. This is a show business, not a tell business. I'm in show business. Success in network marketing, it's a show business, not a tell business. You don't tell people how to do it. You show them, guess what? How to do it. Lead by example. Because see, when you become too big to do the little things, you become too small to achieve anything. Ooh. Yeah. You understand? Leading by example. Shereen is the prime example. Right now, I walk outside, Shereen is labeling the CDs. Could she have delegated that to somebody else? Yes. Did she? No. Why? Because she's leading by example. Do you understand that? So you understand there's a difference between sacrifice and priorities. Meaning what? A lot of times you go, well, I'm just going to delegate everything. Because guess what? Someone else can do it. But you've got to make sure that you understand there's a fine line. very fine line that you can't cross, to the point where you're delegating so much that people don't respect you anymore. You got to lead too. Yeah. You have to decide. And here's how you do it. You have a servant heart. Have a servant heart. Don't live a life for you. Live a life for others. That's the deal. Make sure you're living a life for others. So watch how this works. Lead by example. Now I think you'll like this one, okay? For your notes, okay? Number 2, leaders are often asked to give up more than others, okay? The heart of leadership is putting others ahead of yourself. It's doing what's best for the team, okay? For the reason leaders have to give up their rights. Prime example. If you understand, you have to, guess what? Give up to go up. And as a leader, you got to give up more. You have to give up more. And it's not fair. Doesn't matter. Life's not fair. You've got to make sure you understand, you guys, you have to give up to go up. You've got to lead by example. You understand, because it's not about what's best for you, it's best for the team. If you do something stupid and it affects your entire organization, your entire team, is that a costly error? Yes. That's why, as a leader, you live in a fishbowl. I teach leaders, whenever you guys become like monster players, I teach leaders, look, don't go to the restroom at the dinner table. Don't go to the restroom at the dinner table. I use different words. But don't go to the restroom where you eat. You guys get that? What does that mean? That means you do not violate the law of solid ground. You do the right thing. Why? Because it's the only thing. Because when you do something, you let everybody down. Imagine if you made a poor choice and it affected everyone. God. Can you imagine that? Law of sacrifice says, guess what? As a leader, I do not have the right to make poor choices. That kid that got kicked off the football team, did that affect his team? Yeah. He was a team captain, guys. Do you think that affected our team? Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying he was the best player by any standards, because the best player wasn't even a team captain. Why? Because guess what? Our coaches lack leadership. You guys see that? The best player is in the room right now, actually. So you understand, it's like, look, our team did well because of what? Leadership. You understand what I'm telling you guys? It's the same thing in our business. When you make a poor choice and you do something stupid, do you guys see that? You do something dumb, it affects everybody. This kid that got kicked out said, I'm going to go, instead of be smart, I'm going to go take a couple bong rips on campus. You guys get what I'm saying? It's like, what are you thinking? You guys get what I mean? Why would, like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. That's called being selfish. It's called caring about yourself. That's called living for yourself. In life, you got to live for others. Don't worry if the decision I make right now is going to affect other people. You've got to always make the right choice, okay? So you learn that, though. Some of you guys, you mess up. Sometimes you get kicked in the face. That's how you learn how to block it. You guys get what I'm saying? So here's what it looks like. This is powerful. God, I love this. This is leadership. As your leadership grows, okay, these are your rights. Your rights decrease. Do you guys see that? And your responsibilities, guess what? Increase. So as your leadership grows, guess what happens? Most people think, oh, once I become a leader, then I don't have to worry so much now anymore. I'm a leader, I get all these privileges. No, it's exact opposite of that. Yeah. As a leader, as you rise in leadership, responsibility increases, and your responsibilities increase and your rights decrease. I like what Winston Churchill said. Winston Churchill said, the price of greatness is responsibility, okay? The cost of leadership. Leaders must be willing to give up more than other people they lead. Leadership means sacrifice. Leadership means sacrifice. You've got to make sure that you're making choices that, guess what, set the example for your team to follow, okay? That's a law of sacrifice. Here's what it is. You must keep giving up to stay up. You must keep giving up to stay up. Leadership success requires continual change, constant improvement, and ongoing sacrifice. Catch that. You must keep giving up to stay up. You have to give up more to stay up. Okay? Leadership success, continual change, constant improvement, and ongoing sacrifice. This right here is true leadership. You've got to look at, guess what? You've got to care about others, man. You've got to focus in on other people. How do you do that? You make the right choice, okay? Keep giving up. Keep sacrificing. Why? Because guess what? You're influencing others. You're helping others. Let me give an example, okay? Here's a good example. The higher the level of leadership, the greater the sacrifice. How high do you want to go? How far do you want to go in life? You got to be willing to give up. You got to be willing to sacrifice. You got to be able to make the right choices, okay? The higher the level of leadership, the greater the sacrifice. The higher you go, the more it's going to cost you, okay? And it doesn't matter what kind of leadership career you pick. You will have to make sacrifices. You will have to give up to go up. You've got to be willing, guess what, to give up. Let me give an example. I could give you a prime example. One of Joey and I's best, one of our good friends. He doesn't sacrifice. He picks choices that benefit him. And as a result of that, he hurts other people. You understand? You've got to make sure you understand something. You cannot focus in on you. You've got to focus in on everyone else. Why? Because if you focus in on everybody else and doing what's best for them, guess what happens? Everybody wins. Some of my best people in this business, you guys, are addicted to drugs. That's selfish. I'm talking some of my best friends I grew up with in this industry that I helped become millionaires lost everything because of drugs. That's selfish, man. Don't worry about you. Worry about helping others. Have a leadership servant heart. Care about others. Make choices that are going to better benefit other people. How do you do that? You focus in on yourself. You cannot control other people, but you can influence them, and the only way to influence them is through your actions. Have that catch me if you can attitude. Somebody's like, how do I influence my people? Step up. What would happen right now if you just stepped up and sacrificed and said, look, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice some time away from sleeping. I'm going to you understand? Some of you are like, man, but I'm good at sleeping. I'm good at video games. When girls get together, they're not talking about how good their boyfriend is at video games. Ladies, am I right? Yes. They're not like, my boyfriend can school your boyfriend at Halo. You understand? You got to realize you have to sacrifice in order to get more. What are you willing to give up to go up? You guys see that? Watch how this works. You'll like this one, okay? This is Lee Iacocca, okay? Leadership means setting an example. Wow, I'm glad I said that, okay? When you find yourself in a position of leadership, people follow your every move. Every decision you make influences others' lives. Set the example, man. Set the example. Lead by example. Give everything you can. Do your absolute very best at everything you do. Yeah. Set the example. Lead by example. Why not? How many lives do you have? Is this your life or a dress rehearsal? Is this your life or a scrimmage? Is this life or scrimmage? I didn't survive 1 out of 40 million sperm to go work at a job for the rest of my life. How about you? Do you guys see that? So guess what? We've got to go out there and do something spectacular. We got to do something great. How do we do it? We lead by example, okay? So does everybody have a better understanding of the law of sacrifice? If you do, say aye. Aye. Everybody ready to get committed to the law of sacrifice? Say aye.